2024 was a critical year for me on my YouTube journey. It was 5 years ago that I said that I wanted to do YouTube full time. And what I meant by that is that the majority of my income was to come through YouTube. And in 2019, I started DoorDash full time. I used to drive a school bus, and my son had to come live with me and my wife full time. And because of that, I had to be able to take him to school. He was 9 years old at the time, and I had to take him to school. So because I had to take him to school, my wife worked full time. I had to kind of have a job that I could be around that schedule. I used to drive a school bus, and I was not allowed. If you know anything about driving a school bus, when the kids are in school or going to school, you pick up high school bright and early in the morning. You go directly from that to middle school, and then your last school is elementary, and you do them the same way, the same order when it's time to get out of school. High school gets out first, then you do middle school, elementary. They stagger them like that on purpose so the bus drivers can facilitate. Plus, the high school kids go super early and elementary school kids go later. So because of that, when I would be at work, my son would have to be in school. Wasn't something I was going to have my mom do. My wife had a full-time job. She had to be at work before, so I had to do what I had to do. And I had to leave the bus yard behind and focus on how I could make money and still be around his schedule. Now, DoorDash was way back. It was way different in 2019. A lot of things were different. Gig economy apps, for those of you who don't know what that is, those are apps like Amazon Flex, Uber Eats, Uber, things like that. Apps that you can do on the side to make money. And I was doing DoorDash and DoorDash alone full time. And I did that full time from 2019 to 2023. But I was still kind of dabbling in it between 2023 and 2024. But all the while, I had this plan on YouTube, and that was to talk to Detroit Lions and anything else I wanted to. But I had a system in place and a strategy. And in 2021, I made the best decision I could have ever made on YouTube. I got out of my comfort zone. I left the channel. I started noticing about the algorithm and audience and how YouTube worked. And I decided to take a leap. I had a channel that had over 20,000 subscribers. And I decided to start fresh and specifically make a channel specifically about the Detroit Lions. And it was literally the best move that I've ever made on YouTube. Made me tens of thousands of dollars in 2024, which was, I made 150% more in 2024 than I did in 2023. And I didn't think that I would, if you would have told me that I could have made that type of money with less than 50,000 subscribers, I wouldn't have believed you for a long time. But now I've seen that I can do it and that it is possible. And you don't need 20,000 subscribers to do it, but you don't need 100 either. So I could only imagine what it would be for someone who gets consistent views, sponsorships, advertisements that has 100K plus. I mean, even 50K plus. But what was the thing that kind of drove me? Why was my hustle so strong? I believed in YouTube. YouTube has made $38 billion. In 2023, YouTube made $38 billion. Let's see if Google has updated to what they've made for 2024. Because again, YouTube in 2023 made $38 billion with the B. To put that in perspective, okay? Everybody is familiar with Star Wars. Star Wars was sold by George Lucas in 2020. I'm sorry, sometime in the past 10 years. Sold it to Disney. And in selling it to Disney, he sold it for $4 billion. 1, 2, 3, 4. $4 billion. In 2023, YouTube made $38 billion. $38 billion. So it's enough money to go around. I don't think it's updated. I don't think it's updated. Yeah, it doesn't look like it updated. So in 2022, it made $31 billion. So YouTube is growing. The revenue that they're making is growing. And I saw that. And I saw before Pat McAfee and before a lot of creators started doing, a lot of superstars like LeBron James or whoever else, Ben Roethlisberger, guys with their own YouTube channel, I saw the potential in this platform long before like I said, Pat McAfee and those guys were on on YouTube, on this platform. It was like they did everything possible to avoid it. So with that, I put out this plan in place, and I worked really hard. I got my first channel monetized in January of 2023. It took me 2 months to get paid. The first month, I didn't make my $100 threshold, so therefore I had to wait until March to get paid. And my first paycheck was about $130 or so. I remember getting my Google AdSense pen that I've had that same sheet of paper ever since. And everybody who's monetized knows what that means. They send you this Google pen that only you have. They don't know it. So if you lose it, you have to request a copy of it. But I remember being super excited that I was able to make money from something that I was talking about. But what really prompted me to make this video is doing gig economy work. We used to have a rule in place. Most people who do gig work would like to make $1 per mile that they drive. I own a Nissan Altima, and I used to get oil changes every 3 months. As a matter of fact, Carfax will send me emails based on what they think I'm doing, my history, that it's time for me to get an oil change. Well, I have been pretty much on and off. It got so bad doing DoorDash that the chime, I joke about it. And I say that the chime was like me. And if you've never seen the movie Captain America and the Winter Soldier, spoiler alert, there's a Bucky Barnes who's in Captain America. They go way back. He was actually turned into a Hydra soldier. I know it's some dorky stuff. Super cool though. And he has these words that will turn him from it. Basically, he's been brainwashed to do the bidding of Hydra. In order to get him activated, you have to repeat these words. That's how the chime was for DoorDash. It got so bad, and it used to be good. It used to be good when COVID was around. I made the most money I've ever made, and I remember being so terrified that I wasn't going to be able to take care of my family when they locked everything down. But thankfully, delivery drivers were considered essential workers. So the chime was so bad with DoorDash that I wanted to. It turned me into the Winter Soldier. So I remember very specifically, it's the summer of 2023, and gig work slows down in the summer. More people are active. They're outside. It's not like it is now in Michigan, snowstorm. We're getting hit with all this snow in a few days. So this is when you would be incentivized to do gig work because the money is probably there. But it got so bad. It got so bad that I just couldn't do it anymore. I would go out for hours and I would sit. And sometimes I would have to choose between YouTube and the gig economy. But because YouTube doesn't pay until the following month, I was making money. But because I had to wait till the following month, I had to prioritize immediate money. So I started to watch the profit dwindle down. Why did I bring up Carfax and the mileage on my car? Why is this video titled From 1,000 Miles to $1,000 on YouTube or something like that? Because I got my oil change November 28th, 2023. It is the making of this video, February 14th, 2025. So over 10 weeks later, and I have just now driven 1,000 miles. So I used to drive 1,000 miles in 2 months, easy. As a matter of fact, 1,000 miles a week. So I used to stay getting an oil change. Now, I haven't driven, it took me 10 plus weeks to drive 1,000 miles. And when I used to go and do DoorDash, and obviously my wife and people who lease cars, I'm like, how do they lease? Is it physically possible for a person to drive 1,000 miles a month? And I'm saying to myself, now, I guess so, because it's taken me 2.5 to go 1,000. And I do regular stuff. I leave the house when I have to. I go shop at Meijer, for everybody who knows what a Meijer is. I go shopping. I take care of business, take my son to doctor's appointments. But from driving 1,000 miles in a week to 1,000 miles in 10 weeks, you know what a difference that makes? You're talking about 1,000% more miles by doing gig work. And the profit, the math wasn't mathing, as they say. So I decided, you know what, Derek? You've been doing this a long time. Just focus, because I had to make a choice. I had to decide, do I go get this money or do I try to get this money? Was it gig economy work or was it attempt on YouTube? Now, I set up myself over years to be able to take an opportunity like that. This is not an immediate opportunity. This opportunity was not immediate. And I was afraid to do it. Maybe I could have done it sooner, but I was afraid because bills had to be paid. Whatever money I make today, I don't get paid until March 21st. So if you do a video, you don't get paid until the 21st of the following month. So you could do a video you can make a bunch of money February 1st. You're not going to see that money for 7 weeks till the 21st. I needed money sooner than that. So, but I made a decision to go and just say, you know what, Derek? It was so bad and I was so much in the profit wasn't even there that I said, what else you got? What do you have to lose? It's no longer mathing anymore. And it wound up being a pretty decent decision. Now, I do this full time and it's a little scary because of something that we'll talk about a little later in a different video. It's a little scary, but I'm pretty good with money. I have faith in the YouTube system. I have faith in my abilities, and I believe that I can make this happen. But I do know that I always have something to fall back on if this does not indeed work out. But if I can make more money making a video than I can make an entire day, if one video can make me more money than one entire day doing gig economy work, I think that I made the right choice. So it was something that had been adding up for me. And I'm glad I made the decision. It took a lot for me to do it. And I don't think I'll ever be just settled because of how finicky the YouTube platform is and money in general. Everybody is always trying to get it. A lot of people will do things that they're not proud of for money. And some of them are YouTube creators that will just make content. They will do all of this stuff for money because that's all that matters. I'm realizing now we need it, but it's not all that matters. And my integrity will always come first. My love for something will always come first. I will never do anything just for money. I used to do a job that I hated, but everybody called it a good job. I hated it. This is not an easy job. It's not a hard job, but it's a job. And it's not stable, but I'm like this. What job is? You literally could be let go. My YouTube channel could be taken away and you could be fired tomorrow. So I hope that doesn't happen to either one of us, but just wanted to tell you a little bit of my story about how I went from 1,000 miles to $1,000 on YouTube. And that's light work. It just had a catchy title to it. So, but I make much more than that. Multiple channels, multiple streams of income, and this is only the beginning. I'm 45. I have a dream to be much, much more at 50. So anyway, you guys got any questions? Thank you for all the new subscribers that have subscribed to the channel. Thank you if you comment. We're a small channel now, so I can pretty much respond to everyone who comments. So I'll try to do that. You guys are awesome, man. I'll see you next time.